What's up, guys? This is a reaction to a clip of Rampage Jackson and an interaction he has with a security guard at what looks like a theme park or some kind of private plaza. From what it looks like, the issue starts because Rampage is walking around with his crew, friends, cameramen, people helping him with his stream, and apparently he's not allowed to record there without permission. And you can tell immediately when the security guard questions him that Rampage's ego takes a hit. He's clearly not used to being told what he can or can't do. Now, here's the important part of the dynamic. In that specific setting, the security guard actually has more authority than Rampage. Not personally, but technically. He's hired to enforce the rules of that location, whether directly or through a third party. At first, Rampage bluffs. The guard asks if he's cleared to record, and Rampage casually lies and says yes. He says it in a way that almost sounds believable, but it clearly wasn't true. It clearly wasn't true because shortly after that, the guard tells him to put the cameras away or leave. That's when Rampage's behavior shifts. He immediately starts acting tough. He starts resisting, saying things like, "How are you going to make us put it away? How are you going to make us leave?" Messing with the guard, talking like a thug, honestly, just being a dickhead. And you can see his anger building. His ego is getting chipped away piece by piece. Then he tries to leave through a side entrance, not a normal public exit, but what looks like a restricted door, probably meant for employees or personnel. He gets stopped again and told he can't go through there. Now, maybe if he hadn't been so confrontational up to that point, they might have let him take the shortcut. But by now, there's no chance. Nobody's doing him any favors. So he lies again. He tells them he works for Dave & Buster's, hoping that'll get him through the door. It doesn't work. He's told to leave the proper way. Before leaving, though, he tries one last ego move. He tells his crew to get their names, like that's supposed to scare them, like he's gonna do something with that information. Then he throws in a little insult, telling them he hopes they enjoy their jobs. And that part really says a lot. He's trying to embarrass a guy who's doing what most people in the world do, what most of his viewers do. Working a normal job, trying to support himself, maybe even a family. The security guard is just doing his job, enforcing rules he didn't create. And Rampage then claims the guards are power tripping, but Rampage is the one tripping. As he's leaving, a kid asks him for a picture, and Rampage uses that moment to drag things out even more. He stops, takes his time, clearly using it as a flex. Like, yeah, I'm leaving, but I'll do it on my terms. He's technically complying, but he's towing the line. Probably because he doesn't want it to escalate to the point where police get involved, but he's still making the guards' jobs harder than they need to be. At first, security tells him to stop, and Rampage then tries to flip it and act morally superior, like he's the good guy for taking a picture with the kid, who's, not so young either. Looks like a teenager. But regardless, he acts like the guards are somehow wrong for doing their job. But again, the reality is simple. Rampage's ego couldn't handle being told no. Everything that followed was him spiraling because of that. Anyway, that's my reaction to this particular instance with Rampage Jackson, where he goes on a little... Anyway, that's my reaction to this video of Rampage Jackson treating his security guards like trash and going on an ego trip himself. Like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you later.